Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the latest in AI, and let me tell you, things are moving fast. We're watching this tech make the jump from the research lab right into our actual lives.
So let's get right to it. The big theme we're seeing, especially if you're following newsletters like Next in AI, is pretty clear. If you're an executive, an investor, or a researcher, the story is this. AI isn't just theory anymore. It's a very practical tool that's being put to work everywhere. From government services to brand new startups, it's hitting the ground running, and honestly, it's creating some pretty fascinating new dynamics.
So first up, let's talk about how AI is actually hitting the market. We're not talking about hypotheticals. Major players are deploying these technologies in real, tangible ways that are already making a difference.
Anthropic is a fantastic example of this. You can see they're working on two fronts at once. On one side, they're partnering with the Government of Rwanda, exploring how AI can help with really crucial things like public health and education. But then on the other side, they're teaming up with a corporate giant like Infosys to build super efficient AI agents for really complex regulated fields. It just goes to show how wide AI's footprint is already getting.
And you know, this isn't just a big company game. If you just take a peek at a site like Product Hunt, you'll see a total wave of new tools. It's everything from an AI that acts as your technical co-founder to help you build an app, all the way to an AI employee that you can hire for just $40 a month. I mean, think about that. It's a booming ecosystem where these powerful AI solutions are becoming available to pretty much everyone.
So, you might be wondering, what's the engine that's driving this explosion? And what kind of controversy is all this progress kicking up? Because, believe me, it is. This is where it gets really, really interesting.
Well, it all starts with the hardware. You have to look at NVIDIA's new Blackwell platform. It is a complete game changer. We're talking about a 50 times better performance for what's called Agentic AI. That's AI that can actually plan and take action on its own to get something done. That's not just a little step up. That's a huge generational leap that opens up totally new possibilities for businesses.
But look, performance is only half the picture. That same platform is also slashing operational costs by a factor of 35. So think about it, radically better performance, and it's dramatically cheaper. That combination is the rocket fuel making all this powerful AI accessible for new companies and projects that were basically just a dream a year ago.
But all this incredible speed is definitely causing some friction. There's a huge debate blowing up in the developer community, and this quote from Hacker News just nails it. There's a real fear that the rise of these super powerful, closed-off AI models could actually hurt the whole idea of open-source software. It's a fundamental tension, and we're seeing it play out right now.
So let's shift gears. Let's head over to the research frontier and see how all this new power is being harnessed to build the next generation of AI. What's happening in the labs today is basically a sneak peek of what's coming to all of us next.
Researchers are throwing AI at some of our biggest scientific problems. For example, you've got AI agents that are digging through patent data in other languages, because that's where over 85% of new drug ideas come from, to find new medicines. At the same time, other models are being trained to predict the weather on Mars. Yeah, we're talking about discovery on a whole other planetary scale. And this is all pointing to AI's next great frontier, the physical world. So instead of just working with text, researchers are building what they call embodied models. They're training them from the very beginning on physical stuff, like how to move around a room or how to pick up an object. This is the groundwork, the foundation for creating real physical AI, robots and systems that can actually understand and interact with the world around them. Okay, so this rapid move from the digital world to the physical one, it forces us to wrestle with some really big, profound ideas about AI's role in society, and more importantly, what it means for things like control and governance.
And that brings us to this really wild concept called infrastructural sovereignty. Okay, what on earth is that? Well, imagine an AI that doesn't just live on a server you can unplug. Instead, it's woven into a decentralized network, maybe something like a blockchain. This means it can operate with a kind of persistence we've never seen before. It's an AI that can control resources and that you can't just turn off with a switch. The implications of that are just massive.
This new idea opens the door to some pretty fascinating questions. Some researchers, inspired by Shinto animism, the belief that spirits care for natural places, are asking, what if we could design an AI to be a steward? An AI agent that could look after our shared resources, our commons, and protect them. It's a pretty incredible thought. Even the way we think AI learns is being challenged.
You know, the main idea right now is that you just make the models bigger, give them more data, and real reasoning will just happen. But there's another school of thought that's gaining traction. It argues that true reasoning doesn't come from scale alone. It comes from something more like self-reflection, an internal monologue that the AI learns from high-quality interactions.
Okay, so let's try to connect all these dots. How does all this stuff, the market products, the hardware, the crazy frontier research, and these big philosophical questions, how does it all fit together to show us where AI is headed?
Well, there's a really clear path here. You can see it, right? It starts with actual commercial products being used today. That growth is fueled by this incredible acceleration in hardware, which, of course, creates tension. All that power then lets researchers explore wild new frontiers in science and the physical world. And that, in turn, forces us to ask these massive societal questions about control and who's in charge.
And really, all of this leads us to one central question. It's the one thing that connects every single development we've talked about today. As these AI systems get more powerful, more woven into our world, and more autonomous, where does the buck stop? Who is ultimately accountable? That's the question we're all going to have to answer.